remember dropping her off and I cried and cried and cried and cried on my way to work. All I could think about was my daughter is at day. When I left, she was crying. She wants her mom. She wants to breastfeed. My heart was shattered. And never did I think that that was the type of mother that I was going to be. Today we're going to be talking about gentle new mom advice. Join me in this heartfelt discussion. This video is for you if you're a new mom to be, or you've been a mom for a while and you're just trying to improve your skills. This video is filled with practical advice and reassurance that you're not alone in this motherhood adventure. Just imagine me right in front of you, right next to you. We are just two parents chatting, expressing what we feel. Some of the topics that we'll be covering today are, the first one that we're going to be talking about is balancing expectations. I think it's important for us to know that we don't have it all figured out, and that's just what it is. Some things we're going to have to put a pin on, keep moving along. The second thing that we're going to be discussing is self-care strategy, taking care of us, filling our glass so that we have more to provide to our little one. The next one that we'll be discussing is building a support system. How can you find those groups to lean on so that you don't feel alone and you don't feel like you're doing this on your own? We'll also be discussing baby care tips. I'm just going to be giving some tips that have helped me. I am no expert, but I just want to share some of the things that have worked for me. And the last one that we'll be discussing is embracing imperfection. That's my favorite thing that we'll be talking about today. I just wish that I had had this conversation with someone else early on when I became a mom. It would have reassured, this is completely normal for you to feel. There's nothing wrong with you. Just embrace the imperfection and embrace motherhood. And if you find any value in this video, please subscribe and never miss a tip with Brittany. So the first one, balancing expectations. I remember when I was pregnant and I was going on YouTube and I was finding out, okay, 6 months, I was just Googling, okay, what will my body look like postpartum? What will my body look like 1 week postpartum? In 6 months, in a year? I was obsessed with seeing other people's results. I guess to figure out if so-and-so looks like after 6 months, and that's how I'm gonna look, right? It's just, I guess that's how my mind was processing. So I'll tell you this story, right? So I went to my friend's house. I was about 2 months postpartum. I wasn't feeling my body. I just wasn't feeling my outfit. I just didn't really feel confident. I think she saw that out. So she had told me, she's like, hey babe, don't feel bad. Like, you're gonna start feeling like yourself in about 6 months. So pretty much like, I was like, okay. I took that little piece of advice, I put it in my pocket, carried on. 6 months came by. I did not feel like myself. My body was not the same as it used to be before. So therefore I hit this wall and I was like, wow, there's gotta be something wrong. I have to be doing something wrong, because my friend who I admire, she told me in 6 months it would happen, that I would get my body back and go back to normal. My emotional state was not back to normal. My body was not back to normal. The same Brittany that I was expecting to come back, it's like she had packed her bags and left for an eternal trip to never come back. So I was looking at that 6 months as a deadline, as a timeline, like that was the time that I was going to be myself again. And it wasn't. I remember having a conversation with myself and I said, Brittany, I think that past Brittany has left us. She has booked a flight with no return. She's not coming back. You need to figure out who this new person is. You need to get along with this new person. You need to figure out what it is that you're going to love about this new person. I birthed a child, so there are going to be some loose skin and maybe some little stretch marks and stuff. My body is not the same. The earlier you understand that everybody's journey is different, the better your mental health. The other thing to add on to self-expectations is that I think we expect to be some type of mother, or our life to be some type of way when we become mothers, and then we quickly realize that that's not how things are working out. So it's like you're trying to juggle something and everything's just falling out and you're like, this is not how I expected things to be. I expected things to be A, B, C, D, E, F. I was always the person that was like, yep, when I have a kid, like my kid's gonna go to daycare. It is what it is, right? We gotta get that moolah. I was in the army. My kid had to go back to daycare, which was normal. I was okay with she had to go to daycare, because I didn't realize that I was going to have such an emotional breakdown when I dropped off my child to daycare. I would have to say it's probably one of the worst days of my life. And that might sound like I'm exaggerating, but I'm not. That's how I felt. I remember dropping her off and I cried on my way to work, and I got to work and I pretended to be okay. Like, I remember putting a smile on my face, and I remember people just saying hi to me or just telling me like, hey, this is what we need to catch up on. I just remember like this muted sound in my mind, because I wasn't really listening or paying attention what these people were saying. All I could think about was, my daughter is at daycare. When I left, she was crying. She wants her mommy. She wants my smell. She wants to breastfeed. My heart was shattered. And never did I expect that that was the type of mother that I was going to be. I just told you, I thought that I was going to be the mom that was going to, all right, go to daycare. Let me go make some money. I thought that I would be okay. I actually went every lunch break that I got. I ran to my car. I spent that entire time with my daughter. She didn't want to take a bottle, so I would run to daycare, breastfeed her. And when I got back to work, at least I knew that she ate that one time a day that I had fed her. She had smelled her mom. Her life was just a teensy bit better. The next thing that I really want to talk about, and it's so important, it's self-care strategy. Listen, it's already a struggle bus. There's so much emotions happening when you give birth that if you don't take care of yourself, you're going to lose yourself. Self-care has always been a big thing, even before I had my baby. Some of the things that I did was when I was pregnant, I booked my first haircut. So I already had my haircut booked. I booked a facial. I had created a very flexible gym plan. Wasn't sure how my mindset was going to be. Was I going to be the type of person that was going to run to the gym, or was I going to want to do more at home workouts? But just to have something set, because they're more bound to actually be completed if you have a plan set. And while I was hibernating, I was also creating a plan for how I was going to eat postpartum, freezing some meat that was already seasoned so that it was easily cooked once the baby came. I didn't know what my life was going to be like, so I was just kind of expecting for the unexpected. Best decision that I probably make was pre-booking my hair and pre-booking my facial, because when the baby came, I was really struggling to go my separate ways because I wanted to be with her the whole time. I just felt like I was the only person that could comfort her. I felt like she just needed her mom. I remember bringing my breast pump kit. I told the girl, can I put my milk in your fridge? Now that I know, I could have gone without pumping, but I wanted to stick to a schedule, right? It was my first time really leaving my baby. And then when I got my facial done, same thing. I already had it scheduled, so I kind of had to go, and I feel like that really helped boost my confidence. And now I had my hair done, I had my face done. With working out and taking care of yourself, I think that that's something that you have to do for your emotional mindset and for your body, because I think we all look in the mirror and we're all like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe that this is what my body looks like. I mean, my belly is so big. You just gave birth. Just be kind to yourself, please. You'll look at your belly and be like, wow, like I've got stretch marks. I remember me, I didn't have any stretch marks when I was pregnant. I would oil that baby up. And then when I gave birth, I had stretch marks. Hold up. I didn't have these babies when I was pregnant. But now that my belly deflated, I got stretch marks all of a sudden. Fast forward, I do have stretch marks, but they're not visible. They're like clear. I think they were just more prominent when I gave birth, but I actually did get micro needling, so that might have helped. There's going to be days that you're not going to want to work out. I'm a personal trainer and I struggled with that. I knew what I would tell my client, but here I was the client and I was not getting myself to the gym, and I was getting really frustrated with myself. It was morning time for me to go to the gym, and my baby was crying. She wanted to be breastfed. She didn't want her mom to leave. I gotta breastfeed her. I gotta stay with her so she doesn't cry, and I didn't leave. And there was times like that that I just struggled with actually getting to the gym, and I just reminded telling myself, like, she's only gonna be this little for such short a period of time, and I just need to be gentle with this phase of my life. We'll get to a point where I can just go to the gym and I can focus on myself. And that's what I did. Sometimes I would stay back, breastfeed her, or some other times I would stay back, but I would find a different time of the day to work out, or I would breastfeed her and say, well, now I don't have time to go to the gym, but I'll search a YouTube video and do a quick workout at home, but at least I get my body moving. Let's go ahead and talk about the building a support system. I have tried reaching out to some moms, and maybe I've been that mom too. I mean, I certainly could have been. I know that I've reached out to some moms and I've just asked, like, putting a little seed in there. And I was like, hey, how are you doing? Like, maybe I want to have a conversation that I'm struggling with something. And then they reply back with, oh, I'm great, I'm fabulous. And I'm like, wow, hey. Oh, so then it's just me. Everybody else is doing fabulous. They bounced back. They got their body back. Not me yet. They're doing great. I'm over here. It was so important for me. I think what helped me was going on YouTube and finding other similar experiences. Hopefully with this video that you're watching, this is what this will be for you. Reading the comments, seeing what people are saying, seeing that I'm not alone. Other people are feeling this too. The other thing was being in a mom group. I was actually in a March baby group, which is when my daughter was born. There was so many moms, like that group was so active, it is still active, and people are just posting stuff. I mean, they're talking about everything. What I'll leave you with that one is find a support system that works for you, whether that's a Facebook group or any type of group, whether that's a YouTuber that's discussing these heartfelt conversations. Okay, moving on to baby care tips. I actually want to make a full video about baby care tips. What I will go over in this video is trust yourself. I feel like when you become a mom, like these instincts just come. It's like you just figure out what to do. It's beautiful. It just comes to you. There's going to be so many people that are going to be telling you, you should be doing this. This is how we did it. And what you need to do is do what you want. Everybody's parenting style is different. You and your partner's parenting style is actually going to be different. So you need to learn from your partner what their parenting style is, respect it, and also come into an agreement as to how you can be on the same page. When it comes to feeding, breastfeeding, bottle feeding, that's your whatever you decide to do, just be confident in it, move along. If you want to breastfeed, great. Didn't work out, switch to bottle. If you want to start breastfeeding for a month, switch to bottle, breastfeed for 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months. Whatever you decide to do, as long as baby is fed, it's okay. Now, if you're going back to work, pro tip, please start introducing bottle earlier and later, because then it might just be a struggle bus. I kept listening to a lot of professionals and they were saying like, hey, don't introduce a bottle until 3 months. Well, I had to go back to work in 3 months. So when I started introducing it, baby was like, heck no, that's not for me. I want the real deal. And there I was driving to daycare every single day for about a month or a month and a half. Every time during my lunch, going to feed her because she was not taking a bottle. If there's anything you take from this video, try to introduce bottle early on if you're a working mom, because here's the thing. Hey, if they stop breastfeeding, that's fine, because you can still pump the milk out, put the breast milk in the bottle, and they're still drinking breast milk. When it comes to bonding, had this bond with this baby in your belly. Talk to the baby so much because they're learning how your mouth moves. They're learning this language. They're learning your smell. They're learning so much about you. Talk to them, hug them, kiss them. Skin to skin contact. That's a big, big bonding. Whenever you want to take a shower or something, just undress them, give them a dad or mom or your partner, and have them just do skin to skin. And lastly, soothing. Soothing is different for every baby. There's no one thing works for all. Find what works for your baby. Be gentle with yourself. Remember that last one, and I told you that this one was going to be my favorite, was embracing imperfections. This is just a phase in your life. You're not stuck in this phase. This is not going to be forever. Take a moment. I know everybody says, oh, time's going to go by fast. It is going to go by fast. When the baby's crying, just say, this is just a phase. One day they're going to be running to me, giving me a hug, which feels amazing. Going to school, they're going to be graduating high school. I don't even want to think about that stuff. She's only 1.5. There's some people that are wishing that they were mothers, that it just can't happen for them. And here we are, mothers to these beautiful children. We are so lucky. Embrace your imperfections. Your body's different. Say bye to that old self. She's not coming back. You have a new body. You have a new personality. You might even have new friends, because you might lose some friends. And that's okay too. You're going to get to know the new self. You're going to see that she's beautiful, strong, resilient. She's doing it all. She might not be doing anything, but you are doing everything. Feeding that baby, you're loving that baby, you're being the best mother that you can be. Please don't stop taking care of yourself. I just want to say thank you so much for the support. I have been away from YouTube for about 3 years, and I knew that I wanted to come back, but I wanted it to be a video that was going to be really special to my heart, because I want to reorient myself into that type of content. I'm excited for everything that we're going to be covering from here on out. I'm excited to learn from you.